Bud Black extended by the Rockies. What is the Rockies' plan here, if they even have one? Is it just to keep consistency in the clubhouse, or are they just content to bring up the rear year after year?
Well, I don't know if that's a fair question to put it that way on Bud Black. Like I can't think of many. Not that I sat here and watched 162 Rocky games, but I don't think Bud Black's the reason why they're losing a bunch of games. Right? I mean, the guy's got some wins under his belt. I mean, he's proven that he can win in Major League Baseball. The roster just isn't there. I think like if you want to be a team and you want to send the message that like, hey, we're here to build a stabilizing kind of organization here that can build their way out of the depths. I don't think the way to go about it is managers for 1 year at a time. Right? Like that's just it's too chaotic. I think they're happy with what he does with what he has, clearly, because they're extending him. I would say this. If you are a Rockies fan that is against like extending Bud Black, that's fine. But I would like to know, like, what's your move then? Like, if Bud Black is gone, then who are we replacing him with? Because I think that's it's the devil you know type of situation. Because until you get better players and until you can draft better and consistently develop talent at the minor league level and bring that talent to perform at the major league level, it really doesn't make a difference who your major league manager is. You're not going to win many baseball games.
Yeah.
So, I think if nothing else, Bud Black being a guy, I mean, what was the trivia question we had about a month ago, right? The active wins question or something like that. How many wins does he have?
He has over 1,000.
Over 1,000 wins.
Yeah.
It's a lot of baseball.
But even more losses.
Yeah.
Well, I get that. But that's a lot of wins, though.
It is.
If nothing else, it's a stabilizing kind of presence in the clubhouse. It's like, okay, like I've been here. I know what it takes. And, we need to just consistently bring more talent in and develop better talent and just get the guys to perform.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that that's a fair question that Bud Black is the reason why they're finishing last, I guess is my point on that.
No, and I think the bigger point Nick is getting at is the Rockies just continue to do the same thing over and over again. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. The Rockies keep doing the same stuff year after year and getting the same result, almost like they're surprised by it. I agree. I don't think Bud Black is a problem. I think it's the organization that is just kind of lost. But to your point about the roster, I mean, this is a team that had close to $160 million in payroll last year. So not chump change, not at the top of the league, but somewhere in the middle. But they got German Marquez making $10 million, Chris Bryant making $28 million, Daniel Bard's making $9.5 million. They're still spending $5 million a year on Nolan Arenado. They got $6 million for Elias Diaz, who they traded. You got $15 million for Kyle Freeland. You had $14.5 million for Charlie Blackmon, who's a shell of himself. Like, you had a lot of money tied up in guys that are not performing. And this is definitely like a roster construction issue. Like, they just don't have the talent. Like, you could put whoever you think the greatest manager in baseball ever in that dugout, that team is still going to finish last. Like, you can't take guys that aren't talented, that aren't at that level of talent, and all of a sudden make them a contender. All indications are Bud Black is extremely well respected by the players. He's a great baseball guy. That's why he's been there so long. But the Rockies have to like get up in the morning and do something different. Like, make some moves, do something different, develop some players, find some contracts, like build a better roster. But you can't keep rolling out the same roster and the same group every year and just be like, oh, I thought we'd be better this year. Well, how the hell could you think that? Like, if I'm a Rockies fan, I want to see something different. Like, Blackman's gone. Where's that money going? Who are we going to go get? Like, what are we going to do differently here? Because we're not doing anything. We're not making any moves here. We're not actively participating in trying to make this team better.
Now, so the Rockies do have some young pieces. I mean, you have Ryan McMahon. You have Ezekiel Tovar. Like, you do have some nice players in that organization. And maybe they do have a plan. And like you said, I think Bud Black being a stabilizing piece and knowing what you're going to get from him is a huge part of that. And you don't want to switch that out, and screw everything up, right? Like, keep that part consistent. We know that it's consistent. He's going to be there, and we can keep bringing these young kids in. Heck, maybe we get another free agent like piece that will help these younger kids develop and maybe there's talent. I don't know what they have for talent in the minor leagues in the Rockies system. I, again, don't really pay that close attention to them, but they do have some young pieces that could possibly get this organization moving in the right direction. Because I'd love to see it. But if you're a free agent pitcher, are you signing in Colorado? Probably not. I don't need to see my ERA be 15 every time I go out and look at the scoreboard.
Well, and just to go back to the minor league ranking, they're 24th rated in baseball.
Okay, so not good.
They've got a couple of guys
to draft and develop.
And it's taken them 5 years to get those two guys up to the major league level. So they do not do a good job drafting, developing, trading, and developing. They don't do a good job with any of that. And they haven't for a while.
Yeah.
But you're right.
All right.
Are you how many free agents are thinking, man, I'd love to go play in Colorado. I'd love to go be in Denver, a mile high. Nobody. Nobody's like rushing to Colorado to go play there.